Quick question about the FP method in terms of one of the things that really stood out to me is talking about how variable the contexts are of solving people's problems, right? And because there are so many different, you're talking about, oh, this person has a head tilt and their hips hurt, so why the fuck is that happening? Is FP, does it have a model of optimal movement and does it have like a step-by-step approach, or is it more of a framework of how you would investigate the context and investigate the problems in order to create novel solutions for the specific context?
I'm simply, my job is to point people in a direction, and then it's the guys that are like you guys that are a lot smarter than me to be able to take the information and then put it into code. That's the idea. To say that there's a biomechanical model for all human beings, not everybody has the same torso length, not everybody has the same arm length, not everybody has the same level size cranium. Do I think it all homogenizes to the same place? Yes, I do. I think Da Vinci had that right, the Vitruvian Man. I believe there are dimensions to a perfect human body that moves in all four dimensions. And so with that in mind, do I have a step-by-step approach on how I do things? To some extent, so people can understand it, but the idea is that you need to be adaptive to stimuli as it's presented in front of you. And in order for you to see that, you have to, like, if you look at, let's say, somebody who's really attractive, who's really beautiful, do you need somebody else to, like an independent party, to tell you that somebody's attractive, or can people uniformly tell you that that person's attractive? Yes or no?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Right. So with that in mind, that means that your brain is already programmed to look at geometry in a certain way. You can kind of tell when something looks good and when something doesn't look so good. And what I teach people how to do is to tune into that intuition. I'm like, you see what that looks like, guys? I'm not going to point at all the triangles that just formed there. I'm not going to point at them. Those diamonds and those triangles, I'm not going to point at them. I want you to just look at it in all its fucking glory and look at all the tension that's being created when I form those triangles on the body. Just look at it. And then everybody looks at it and they're like, huh. I'm like, does that look right to you? And they're like, yeah, it does look right. What the fuck? That does look correct. I'm like, yeah, you already have this in you, you fucks. It's already inside of you. It's in your fucking genetics to be able to see these fucking points of geometry. I don't need to put it on a fucking piece of paper. It's encoded already in you, bro. You don't need to worry. Like, men and women both have it. And that's how we've gotten to where we're at right now. Sexual selection was highly built on these points of geometry, right? It's why we've gone after certain archetypes of types of people. It's why animals all look beautiful, because they have certain geometric configurations that are triangular in some capacity. And we are automatically, our limbic brain and our reptilian brain are probably already cueing us to select for those tendencies. It's like we are structured to begin with. And all I do is I just say, hey, look at this. Like a machine elf. I'm like, look at this. Here's this next one. Look at this. Look at this. And I run people through an HBS course, or I have my people run HBS courses for me. And then the next thing you know, everybody sees it, but they just can't seem to put it fully into words. So yeah, that's kind of